Hi everyone. Yesterday I was banned from the official Division Discord server. It started because I was posting the latest video I did in the fashion section for their server, and it was blocked because there's no self-promo there. Now I understand that servers have the right to do that and they advertise that, but I pointed out something that was really ironic. I wasn't able to post as a content creator divisions content in a division server, and when I pointed this out, I pointed that it's odd that a moderator in this public space with a lot of kids who play their games advertise their sexuality with their username and their emojis in their username, saying that it's odd that a moderator is allowed to advertise their sexuality. And then I was banned because I was denying the existence of gay people. I'll show you that image too. And first I started by saying I don't understand why my comments deleted. I shouldn't have needed to say that, and I said that as a person who was a moderator for an organization for many years. I said I believe I have more experience as a moderator than whatever the person who did this deleting my comment has. And I said it shouldn't have needed to be said because flaunting your sexuality when a lot of kids are around in these servers is grooming. And I believe that what they did is really intellectually dishonest. Instead of debating me openly about something like this, they chose to be on the negative side of a 90-10 issue, saying that what I was doing was denying the existence of gay people, when in fact it's really not only unprofessional for a moderator who's entrusted with steering conversations in places to be advertising their sexuality, because I know I wouldn't have gotten that position if I had a name tag saying, "Hi, I'm a lesbian. Look at my pride pins. Look at my bag that says, all love is the same." No, I wouldn't have gotten that position. But you know what? For a company that's been known for inserting their ideology into their games and their storylines, for chasing titles that nobody plays for markets that don't exist, meanwhile ignoring their user base in titles that have gotten them so much attention in the past, and wasted so much money on these projects and endeavors to be in a position where they have to accept $1.5 billion from Tencent, the company that supports the Chinese Communist Party, when people speak out against their human rights violations. It puts Ubisoft in a really bad situation because people understand that, you know what, a company can make bad decisions, but when they get themselves involved in the culture war, that's a different issue entirely. Now, I bring up the Chinese Communist Party and Tencent because Tencent shuts down the uh, shuts down debate of anybody who is against the Chinese Communist Party. And I bring that up because I read Tom Cotton's book, the latest one on 7 things you can't say about China. And he quotes how the NBA was silenced by China, by the communists, because people were speaking out against the Uyghurs, Christians, and Tibetans in China for their human rights violations. Now, these people in the NBA were not only players, but they were management, and they were ended up being forced out of their jobs. Their merchandise was stopped being sold in China, and their games were not covered in China. And this is by Tencent, a huge company that gave billions of dollars to Ubisoft. This is public. I didn't plan on making a video about this, but it just goes to show that when your company is in such a bad situation financially, you shouldn't be involved in a culture war on top of that. And it's even worse because Tom Clancy wouldn't have accepted this. Tom Clancy talked about national security threats to America. Instead, he wouldn't have allowed his company to be involved with people who support Chinese Communist Party, and that company, Tencent, who dismisses dissent about China. Now, the next Ghost Recon game in the Tom Clancy franchise is going to be taking place in Southeast Asia by a country that is committing war crimes. Now, I want you to think of a country in Asia committing war crimes, or any crimes to that matter. Tell me, is it not China? Now, I already cited 3 things, just what they're doing with persecuting Christians, Tibetans, and Uyghurs. Now, it's China definitely, but I can tell you that it's not going to be China in their game because Ubisoft is not going to bite the hand that feeds them. They got $1.5 billion from Tencent, and I already explained what Tencent's known for, and that's public information. So the next Tom Clancy Ghost Recon game is not going to be accurate. It's going to fall short no matter how hard they try to make their game nice. It's going to be seen as a failure because China is controlling Ubisoft. Now, this video started as just something that was stupid. I shouldn't have been banned for expressing my opinion and asking why I was deleted, why my comment was deleted. But I didn't choose for that to happen. They chose to say that I was denying the existence of gay people. I wanted to put this video out because if they're willing to do this to a content creator, they're willing to do it to anybody. I know I'm not the first person they've done this to, because what they did was just blatantly casual. They didn't choose to at least have a conversation with me intellectually to debate something that's really unpopular. So I want you guys to remember, when you play their games, are you playing their games because you like their games, or is it because now it's a habit